Hi everybody, I'm wanting to share with you today about KWL grids. In the previous video looking at children's questions, we talked about KWL grids really briefly. And I think they're an amazing planning tool, but they are great at helping God and children connect together in learning in children's ministry. So KWL grids, they are no more fancy than a piece of paper with a couple of lines on with the letters KWL on. Really simple tool, great to help us dig deeper with children into what is it that they're currently thinking and understanding in their journey with God. So a KWL grid, we have the K, which stands for what I know, the W, what I want to know, and L, what I've learned. So the K, what I know, we ask children to tell us, what do you know about a particular aspect of Christian living, what I want to know, what I want to find out. And that can be practical, it can be knowledge-based, it can be a part of the relationship that they want to go deeper into, and then the L. What's amazing about this simple piece of paper is that you can map the children's progression in a particular aspect, either be that understanding or be that relationship. It's great just for the child, if nothing else, to be able to reflect that they've been on a journey. They've gone from a place where they've known something, they've wanted to find something out, and they've discovered a little bit more about who God is and what he means to them. If I were doing this with children, I use something called a magic whiteboard. It comes on a great big reel. There you probably get 20-30 of these cellophane sheets that you can stick literally up on any surface. They're amazing if you, like me, have spent lots of time in schools or buildings that aren't your own, and you want to create the space that belongs to the children. You can put pictures behind the magic whiteboard because they're see-through, and you could get children to do drawing in and around, but you could also do a KWL grid. Again, as I say, because they come down and then go back up straight away, they're a great way of not making mess, but creating space. So I've got my KWL grid, and I'm looking at something like, who is God with children? And we might have, these are some responses that I've had from children in the past, that they might say, well, God is love. I know that God is love, so I can put that on my K column. You'll notice that I'm using sticky notes or post-it notes. I love them, they're amazing. We might also say that God is everywhere. And the amazing thing about the sticky note is actually we can then transfer it through the columns. So if I know that God is everywhere, what I want to know might be, how does that work? And actually we might develop some language in and around that, which would be amazing. And actually then we could move that sticky note further on into the L column as well. There are 3 of them. So when when I'm asking children about God, they often talk about the Trinity. There are 3 of them. It was a really great response. 3 of them who is a good question, but there are 3 of them. And then children might also come up with their own questions that they want to ask. So why did God create the world? And if we've got our word clouds around, we're helping children model the starting of questions, but they also remind us to ask questions. What does God look like? We could have all sorts of different questions. What's amazing is when we look at the N column, we might find out some misconceptions or alternative ideas. There might be some errors in thinking that we might want to address, but the W column particularly will help us indicate to us what we could or should be planning in terms of learning for our children. So it's a very simple tool, very simple technique, but actually we can take these post-it notes and translate those into our plan for the term, for an experience or an event, or for something that maybe needs to be explored at home with parents. This way we create child-centred learning that actually is tailored to the children's needs. We don't need to force them through a programme that we've bought off the shelf. We can actually create a programme from their questions and explore those together. So I hope this has been a helpful little tool for you to think about how could you actually engage children in the planning process through asking questions. And we will look at raising questions with children a little bit further in another session. Okay, cheers, bye.